Hershey Park is a family theme park situated in Derry Township, Pennsylvania, United States, about 15 miles east of Harrisburg, and 95 miles west of Philadelphia. Founded in 1906 by Milton S. Hershey, as a leisure park for the employees of the Hershey Chocolate Company, as of 2013, the park is wholly and privately owned by Hershey Entertainment Resorts Company. The park has won several awards, including the IAAPA Applause Award. The park opened its first roller coaster in 1923, the Wildcat, an early Philadelphia Toboggan Company coaster. In 1970, Hershey Park began a redevelopment plan which made the park into the new Hershey Park. The 1970s brought the first looping roller coaster on the East Coast, as well as a 330-foot-tall observation tower, the Kissing Tower. Beginning in the mid-1980s, the park rapidly expanded. Between 1991 and 2008, the park added 8 roller coasters and a water park. As of 2011, the park's area covers over 110 acres, containing 70 rides and attractions. The park contains a water park called the Boardwalk at Hersheypark, and a zoo called ZOOAMERICA, North American Wildlife Park. Adjacent is Hershey's Chocolate World, a visitors center that is open to the public and that contains shops, restaurants, and a chocolate factory themed to a ride. History. In 1903, Milton S. Hershey, founder of the Hershey Chocolate Company, surveyed the town that would become Hershey. Included in his plans was a site along Spring Creek that would be suitable for his park. In 1905, a pavilion was built on the hill overlooking Spring Creek and a bridge was built over Spring Creek. While the bridge was able to be constructed, the land on the banks of Spring Creek, from Derry Church to Union Deposit, and areas further north of the creek was actually owned by J. H. Nisley. In February 1906, Hershey purchased all but 2 tracts of land, near Union Deposit, from Nisley. In early spring, the Hershey Baseball Club staked out an area for a baseball field. A baseball diamond, with a track surrounding the field, as well as grandstands were built. The first game was played on May 5, which was a 4-0 loss to Felton Athletic Club. This is also noted as the first open-air event in Hershey. Name: on May 30, 1906, as part of Memorial Day celebrations, Hershey formally opened the park and called it Hershey Park. The festivities included a baseball game, in which Hershey defeated the Crescent Club of Harrisburg by a score of 13-1. Music was performed by the recently formed Hershey Band and other events were held on park grounds. Prior to that time, it had been called various unofficial names, including Hershey's Park or West End Park. In 1970, after more than 60 years of operations, park management decided to redevelop the park into a theme park. The name was changed to Hershey Park in 1971, and it has operated under that name ever since. Amusement rides and attractions. The first ride was added to the park in 1908, an Allen Herschel carousel often referred as the merry-go-round. This was followed in 1910 with the addition of the miniature railroad, which remained in operation until the end of the 1971 season. The park has operated a bumper car ride since 1926, a variety of boat rides on Spring Creek, and 6 dark rides, 3 which were funhouses. The park added its first 2 kiddie rides in 1926, and has added well over 40 since then. Roller coasters. The park added its first roller coaster in 1923, the Wildcat, for the town of Hershey's 20th anniversary, which operated until 1945. It was replaced by the park's second wooden roller coaster, Comet, in 1946. Between then and 1996, the park added 6 roller coasters, including Super Duper Looper, the first modern looping steel roller coaster on the east coast of the United States, in 1977. In 1996, Hershey Park added its third wooden roller coaster, naming it Wildcat, after the original Wildcat. Between then and 2014, the park added 8 roller coasters. Of the coasters that the park has had, only 4 are no longer in the park. 1. A twin roller coaster called Toboggan, which had been located in Carousel Circle, a water coaster called Roller Soaker which had been in Midway America and later the Boardwalk, a kiddie coaster with an oval track called Mini Comet, and the original Wildcat. Pools. The park has had several pools, the first located next to Spring Creek in Comet Hollow, the area themed as the Hollow as of 2014. The first pool operated from 1908 until 1911, which included a toboggan slide ride called Shoot the Chutes. This pool was replaced by a cement pool which opened in 1912 and remained in use through the 1928 season. That pool was replaced by a new pool complex on the western edge of the park, which included a large bathhouse, one large pool and a smaller pool, as well as a beach-like area and a lighthouse. It operated until 1971, when it was closed at the start of the Hersheypark theme park conversion renovation. Hershey Park did not add another pool until 2007 when the Boardwalk at Hershey Park opened. It is a small wave pool for children, called Bayside Pier. That was followed by the addition of a much larger wave pool, called the Shore, which opened in 2009. Themed areas of the park. Hershey Park developed a number of themed areas, the first being Carousel Circle, Der Platz, and Animal Garden in 1972, followed by Tower Plaza in 1975, Pioneer Frontier in 1985, Midway America in 1996, as well as the Boardwalk at Hershey Park in 2007. In 2014, Hershey Park merged several theme areas, Tudor Square, Rhineland, Founders Circle and Music Box Way, became an area called Founders Way, while the coal mining region-themed area Minetown was rethemed as Kissing Tower Hill. The themed areas had featured different music to each area, such as polka-style songs being played in Der Platz and Carousel Circle, country music being played in the Pioneer Frontier themed area, the Beach Boys being played near Tidal Force and later in the Boardwalk, as well as ragtime and jazz music being played in Midway America. However, the music was phased into being the same across the park, except in the Boardwalk and Pioneer Frontier. Attractions, rides. Hershey Park has had 136 rides in the park's history. The current count of rides is 70. The park has featured 15 roller coasters, 3 of which no longer stand, the Wildcat, Twin Towers Toboggan and Roller Soaker. The park had 2 concepts cancelled during their many years of operation, the first in 1942 Flying Turns and Turbulence in 2004. The first ride the park purchased was a Herschel Carousel in 1908. The most recent rides added were the Sweet Swing, Teacups and Cocoa Cruiser, the park's 12th coaster, all of which opened in 2014. Height categories. Hershey Park uses Hershey Company products as names for each height range to determine who can ride which rides. All measurements are in inches. Thrill ride ratings. Hershey Park uses a ride ratings system to alert guests to the aggressiveness of the ride. The ratings for each ride are as follows. Entertainment. Hershey Park features a number of entertainment shows in a number of venues including Hershey Park Amphitheatre and the Music Box Theatre, as well as strolling shows throughout the park. Dining. There are facilities for accommodating particular dietary needs, including a kosher restaurant and a variety of restaurants offering gluten-free rolls and bread. Groups can pre-arrange catering in one of 6 private picnic areas inside of the park. Signs are posted prohibiting guests from bringing in outside food and drink. A casual sit-down restaurant called Hershey Park Place is located just outside the park. A Chicky and Pete's Crab House restaurant and a frozen yogurt stand will be added for the 2014 season. Themed areas. Hershey Park is made up of 6 themed areas, starting with an area, Founders Way, which spans from outside the main gate, to a junction where 3 sections Kissing Tower Hill, the Hollow and Pioneer Frontier meet and make up the central and southern end of the park, while 2 sections, Midway America and the Boardwalk, on the northern end of the park, bordering Pioneer Frontier. Founder unregistered trademark S-Way. Founders Way is the first themed area of Hershey Park. It begins outside the main gate near Tram Circle and is free to enter. It features rustic architecture when it was themed as Tudor Square and is home to several shops, a Dunkin' Donuts and Hershey Park Place, the only full-service restaurant in the park. It also features breakfast with the Hershey's product characters. Once inside the main gate, The area has a Bavarian architecture which was from its time themed as Rhineland. Most of this immediate area is on a hill, which has a wide variety of gift shops as well as an Athana Euro unregistered trademark S, famous for Miglia Pizzeria, and the Central PA's Kosher Mart. Hospitality services is also located in this area, as well as stroller rentals. At the top of the hill is where a statue of Milton S. Hershey and a surrounding fountain, which honors the chocolate maker and founder of the park. This is also where the Philadelphia Toboggan Company carousel is located at, in the middle of a circle which has a number of rides on the outside of the circle. From 1972 until 2004, this area was known as Carousel Circle. In 2005, Carousel Circle became Founders Circle, until 2013, when it was merged with Music Box Way, Rhineland and Tudor Square. The section of Founders Way beyond Carousel Circle is an area formerly themed as Der Platz. This is home to the Craft Barn restaurant, a get-the-picture souvenir photo stand, where guests can see and purchase pictures taken of them by park photographers throughout their day, as well as a Subway restaurant. The Hollow. This section was named after the oldest operating coaster in the park, Comet, and lies along Spring Creek. This is one of the oldest areas part of Hersheypark. Many rides have come and gone in this area. The park's first water ride, the Mill Chute, installed in 1929, was alongside the creek where Great Bear runs today. The original location for the bumper cars, then called the Auto Scooters, is now the Super Duper Looper sandwich stop. There were giant slides on the hill where the Hershey Park Amphitheater is located. A Strecco Turnpike ride was located underneath the high bridge that crossed Spring Creek to Minetown. In 1932 the park installed a Travertumble bug ride next to the Mill Chute. It was removed in 1981 to make room for the Wave Swinger. The park's carousel, before being moved to Carousel Circle in 1972, was located along the creek adjacent to the station of Comet. Before Super Duper Looper came to Comet Hollow in 1977, a Himalaya ride was in that location, and before that, twin Eli Bridge Ferris wheels. A whip, and a station for the electric railroad were also located in Comet Hollow at one time. One of Hershey Park's most significant floods occurred in 1972 as a result of Hurricane Agnes. A number of rides were heavily damaged or destroyed as a result. These rides include the Turnpike Ride, the Mill Chute and the Giant Slides. They were eventually replaced and Twin Turnpike were put on higher ground in Minetown, and the Merry Derry Dip Fun Slide was put in Midway America 25 years later in 1997. Today, the Hollow features 3 roller coasters, Comet, Sky Rush, and the first looping roller coaster on the East Coast, Super Duper Looper. It also houses the Wave Swinger. Almost all of Great Bear's track courses through the Hollow. Beginning with the 2012 season and renovations being done to this area, the park changed the name of the once Comet Hollow to the now present name of the Hollow. Kissing Tower Hill. Until the start of the 2014 season, this area of the park had been called Minetown, which had been officially opened in 1990 with the additions of Convoy, Red Baron, Flying Falcon and Dinosaur Go Round. All except Dinosaur Go Round are still in the area. Dinosaur Go Round was moved to Founder a Euro unregistered trademark S Circle for the 2007 season so the Frog Hoppers could be moved to its location to make room for the Boardwalk. The section features many classic Hershey Park attractions, including the Sunoco Twin Turnpike, Coal Cracker Log Flume, Kissing Tower and Great Bear. It is also home to the Minetown Arcade, Minetown Restaurant, Hershey Park Amphitheater, Hershey Park Aqua Theater and the Hershey Park entrance to ZOOAMERICA. The Minetown Restaurant is a cafeteria-style place, and is the only area in the park where alcohol is served. Music Box Way. Music Box Way is a section that connects Founder a Euro unregistered trademark S Circle, Kissing Tower Hill and Pioneer Frontier. It is named for its wide array of musical entertainment. It is home to the Chevrolet Music Box Theater, the only fully enclosed entertainment venue in the park. Across from the theater are stages for the popular Milkman and Soda Pops acts. Next door to the theater is Studio H Stars, a place where guests can videotape themselves making music videos. Rides in the area include the Geico Fender Bender, Coco Cruiser, Pirate, Capital Blue Cross Monorail, the Claw, the Risi Euro unregistered trademark Extreme Cup Challenge, and the 2FT Narrow Gauge Dry Gulch Railroad. Pioneer Frontier. Pioneer Frontier is the southwestern themed section of the park, and includes 3 of the Parker Euro unregistered trademark S roller coasters, Trailblazer, Sidewinder, Storm Runner, and Fahrenheit. It also includes the Frontier Flyers, the Howler, Mini Scrambler, and livery stables. It also has its own food court which features a wide variety of restaurants. The section previously included the area up to and including Tidal Force until 2007 when Tidal Force and Canyon River Rapids were rezoned into the new Boardwalk. Midway America. Opened in 1996 as a homage to the classic Midway Fair, Midway America features 3 roller coasters, including Wildcat, and Lightning Razor, and 1 steel coaster, Wild Mouse, across from Wildcat. The section also contains the Whip, Merry Derry Dip Fun Slides, Music Express, Ferris Wheel and 3 Childrena Euro unregistered trademark S rides. To further represent its theme, the section has multiple food stands and carts like those found at carnivals, as well as plenty of Midway games. On August 12, 2014, Hersheypark announced Laugh Track, the country's first indoor spinning glow coaster. The coaster will have 1,400 feet of track, travel 40 miles per hour, and is to be funhouse themed. The soft opening date for the ride is sometime in May 2015. It is to be located between the Whip and Midway tent near the fun slides. The Boardwalk at Hersheypark. The newest themed area of the park, the Boardwalk Water Park was officially opened in 2007 and featured 5 new water park attractions along with 3 already standing rides, Roller Soaker, Tidal Force and Canyon River Rapids. Canyon River Rapids and Tidal Force were rezoned from Pioneer Frontier to the Boardwalk, with Tidal Force later being zoned as Midway America. In 2009, the Boardwalk received an expansion known as the Seagull which replaced the iconic Canyon River Rapids with Intercoastal Waterway, the Shore and Cabanas. Roller Soaker was removed for the 2013 season. 2 new water slides and a spray ground replaced Roller Soaker. Regional competition. Regional competition includes, Del Grosso's Amusement Park, located in Tipton, Pennsylvania, Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom, located near Allentown, Pennsylvania, Kennywood Park, located near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Nebel's Amusement Resort, located in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania, Six Flags America, located near Washington, D.C. Six Flags Great Adventure, located in Jackson, New Jersey. Dutch Wonderland, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Sesame Place, located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. In popular culture, in the American Dad episode May the Best Stan Win, a major subplot concerns the marital conflict arising from title character Stan Smith having visited Hersheypark without his wife, Francine. The episode also makes reference to the Chocolate World attraction. The amusement park depicted in the episode bears no resemblance to the actual Hersheypark, although it does depict park employees wearing Hershey's Kiss hats, similar to items sold as souvenirs at the real Hersheypark. In an episode of The King of Queens, Doug and Carrie find a forgotten check given to them as a wedding present, and decide to take a trip with the money. Carrie wants to go to Paris, but Doug gets excited about the prospect of visiting Hersheypark. Gallery. Hersheypark. References. Further reading, Futrell, Jim. Amusement Parks of Pennsylvania. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, Stackpole Books, 2002. Whitenack, Pamela. Hersheypark. Charleston, South Carolina, Arcadia Publishing, 2006. External links, official website, Hersheypark at the Roller Coaster Database.